Everyone, how are you? Welcome to Positively Spiritual. My name is Shannon Gilmore. How are you? I am a peer support mentor. I am here to help you understand and cope with what is going on in your life, the things, the incongruences of your life. And I'm here to help you see different perspectives so you can unpack those incongruences and help your life get on track and make life work for you. So if that sounds good, there's links in the description of this video if you care to get involved in a one-on-one conversation with me. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to sit and chat with you for about an hour or so. So let's do this. Let's get on with this video because we're here to talk about layered thinking. This is a type of thinking that can help you think your way out of situations. We taught about layered thinking in a live last week on answering why, getting down deep into, why is it that I'm thinking this way? A lot of times when we fear, we don't recognize that we're fearful, and to disengage the egoic nature of your mind, you've got to ask yourself questions. So we ask questions. Why do I feel this way? Why is that happening to me? Why did that happen? What am I scared of? Why am I scared of that? Why did I allow the narcissist to trigger me? So these questions are layered as they help us get down deep. So there is a type of layered thinking that we can ask ourselves and use it to outsmart the narcissist, to break the trauma bond. Oh yes, the trauma bond is very deep, and it attaches to our cognitive dissonance. Hello, Diane. Nice to see you. Welcome. It is so nice to see you. Hello. Happy Saturday. So layered thinking and how to use it to outsmart the narcissist and break the trauma bond. So you guys ready to dig into this? Because it's insightful. It's going to help you. It's not going to be easy, but, because a lot of times we just want like a magic wand. We just want God to just, take his hand or his little wand if he has one and bippity boppity boop. There it is. No. This we're noticing that to live in alignment with Jesus is to align our frequency. We have power in us, and all we need to do is just step aside our egoic nature and lay that down, and that's what it means to submit to God. Yeah, it's not easy to do, but we can do it. We are doing it. Just one day at a time, okay? We can do this. We got ya. Fist bump. All right, so layered thinking is the ability to step back from a single thought or the feeling and place it within a broader context. Instead of reacting to the surface emotion, for example, oh, I miss them, or maybe if I stay, they'll change. Well, instead of reacting to that feeling and that surface thought, layered thinking encourages you to look underneath and around that thought. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion to see the root motivations, the hidden dynamics, and the long-term consequences. In relationships with narcissists, victims or targets of abuse are often trained to think in the moment. If I just say the right thing now, they'll calm down. If I just stay quiet, things won't escalate. They said that they loved me, so maybe the pain isn't that bad. Now, this kind of linear thinking, this is surface level thinking. And this keeps the trauma bond alive because it responds only to the immediate push and pull of the narcissistic manipulation. So you want to know how layered thinking works? Instead of getting caught up in the moment of now with the narcissist, layered thinking helps you to train your mind to add layers of awareness so you can stay one step ahead of them. See, surface layer is, what am I feeling right now? Loneliness, guilt, longing, fear, relief. Hello, Resistor Jeanette and Mr. Osgood and Diane. Nice to see you, everyone. Come on in. Welcome. We're talking about layered thinking today, how you can push against the layer, the superficial questioning, and really get a better perspective, a broader perspective of what's going on with the narcissist. And you can use this for yourself, but in this case, we're going to learn how to use layered thinking to unbreak the trauma bond. So again, there's the surface level, the layer of your awareness that just looks at, well, what am I feeling right now? And then you answer, well, I'm feeling maybe loneliness or guilt, longing, fear, relief. But the deeper layer asks, why? See, we talked about this in last week's video about getting into the whys, the underpinnings of why you fear this or that. Now we're just going through the mechanics of it today. So the deeper layer is, why am I feeling this? And you may answer, well, because of their silent treatment, because they loved bomb me last week, because I feel abandoned right now. And then with this kind of questioning, you look for the patterns. Have I felt this before in this relationship? Yes. This same cycle I'm noticing repeats every time I set a boundary and try to leave. Hey Jacob, how you doing? Nice to see you. And then after the patterning layer, you go deeper and you see the reality. What did their actions over time show me beyond the words or the moments? Well, they're showing me they don't change. Apologies don't stick because they're meaningless. And this kindness that they show me afterwards is transactional. And so then you dig deeper to another layer, the future layer. If I give in to this feeling, where will I be in 6 months, a year from now? Still walking on eggshells? Still doubting myself? Still in pain? And then you reach the layer of identity. Who am I outside this relationship? What do I deserve? I deserve respect, safety, peace, and love, real love. So layered thinking has 5 parts or 5 layers. The surface layer, the deeper layer, that's under the surface that asks you, why am I feeling this? Then there's the pattern layer. Have I felt this before? Then there's the reality layer that, what is this showing me? What do their actions over time, what is this showing me? Repeat, 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 rinse and repeat. This is going to be the rest of my life. As the future layer is, if I give into this feeling, where will I be in 6 months or a year from now? And number 6 is the identity layer. Who am I outside of this relationship? Because the facts are, in the moment of now, when your trauma strikes and has you pinned to this moment of now through the past, you're not remembering that you were somebody before you met the narcissist. Even if the narcissist is a parent. Your parent had a hand in bringing fear into your life. You weren't born fearful. Predominantly a simplified system of cold sadistic chaos. Built up explosion remorse, buyback honeymoon phase. Yeah, right? So by building these layers into your thought process, you create distance between your emotional triggers and your decision. That distance is what weakens the trauma bond. So, how do you use these layered thinkings to avoid or break the trauma bond? Well, number one, you catch the trigger. Notice when you feel being pulled back in. Excuse me. Whether it's by guilt or missing them or their breadcrumbs, their, bare minimum effort, notice what is happening. Don't just la 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 and ignore everything and expect the narcissist to carry you through life. You got to carry yourself. So then you walk yourself through the layers. Ask yourself the deeper questions, like we just mentioned, instead of stopping at the surface and, no, I think they'll change. You know they won't. You know deep down inside they won't. And expose the cycle to yourself. See the repeated patterns of the abuse. This strips the illusion that this time will be different. This time is the same as every other time, as this time is going to be the same as every other time in the future. This is who they are. Wake up, please. They're not going to change. They can't. They won't. So now you've got an obligation to yourself, as you always had an obligation to yourself. You are responsible for yourself, no one else. Stop making the narcissist responsible for your welfare and your life, your thinking, your emotions, your actions. They're not responsible for you. They cannot be trusted. And so you anchor yourself in your own identity. It's up to you to find that. Your identity is not in the narcissist. It never was. Your identity was formed before the narcissist came along. The narcissist doesn't make your identity. They mold you into a new one. So remind yourself of who you are and what you deserve outside of their narrative, because their narrative is false. It doesn't match with your narrative. It never did. Jacob says, it's been 2 months and I've distanced. I need new phone. She's still harassing. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, go no contact as best as you can and stay no contact. Remind yourself of those patterns that you were put into against your will. See how all of this relationship was against your will. And number 5, redirect your energy. Instead of feeding the bond by re-engaging, put your energy into healing practices, journaling, affirmations, prayer, therapy, or safe community. And I did somatic work today. It's energetic work on myself today. And oh my goodness. Oh. I did it last night at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I let myself last for, I think it was a good 20 minutes. And what the new science is teaching us is that our back muscles that attach to our hips, and those hip muscles that attach to our hamstrings, and that hamstring, attaches to the solar muscle, the back of the calf. Ooh, I'm touching my calf right now. It's kind of tender. Um, but the back muscles are the hip muscles, the deep hip muscles that attach to your back muscles. They're kind of noted as being the muscle to the soul. And those muscles hold in your trauma. So if you've got knee aches, ankle aches, posture, back aches, shoulder pain, you want to work on your back muscles and those hip muscles, those PSOA muscles. And so I did that last night. And basically what it is you're laying on your back, okay? You lay on your back with your knees up, and your arms out to your side. You start off like that, and then you lift your middle section with your knees so that you are off the ground. Like that. You do a bridge exercise where you lift your torso up off the floor with your knees bent. And then what you do is you come back into the resting position, and then you have your feet together and your knees outward, pointing outward. These are your feet, and you're still laying on your back like this, but then you drop your knees to each side, and you have the soles of your feet together. And what you do is you slowly bring your knees together in a position like this. And what is going to happen is you will feel a little tremor. So your legs are out like this, and you bring your legs together and you'll feel a little tremor. And if you just hold that where you feel the tremor, the tremor will start to get more, and your legs will wiggle like this. And I couldn't control it. And so what I started doing is I started thinking about all the pain that the trauma that I went through. And what brought me to something was that tremor actually reminded me of when my last birth, when I gave birth to my youngest child. I went into shock. And I remember on the delivery bed, just with my knees up in this position, and my knees, I couldn't hold my legs together. The more I tried to hold them together, I was just like, they were just shaking, and I couldn't stop them from shaking. And that's what it felt like. So it took me back to that memory. And as soon as I went to that memory, the shaking last night was and I just let it happen. I just, just no thought, and just let my body go through it. It's like have you ever seen the video of the polar bear is being chased down by a helicopter because scientists want to tranquilize the polar bear? And after the tranquilizer wears off, the polar bear starts shaking. And that's, that is the same thing, is the nervous system is becoming regulated and dealing with the stress. And so our body holds in all this stress, and we don't recognize it. We just go about our day. And for me, this was extremely important because I've always held tension in my thighs, in my inner thighs, whenever fear, whenever trouble hits, whenever I feel bad, whenever I feel like impending doom, my legs just go into this freeze response. And so I could feel in my inner thighs just start tremoring. And I'm just like, oh, here we go. Then I started thinking about, giving birth to my other children, because I had complications when I had twins, not by natural. It was my doctor who was not a very good doctor. And he, just never took care of me properly, and I had complications. So then after that, I seemed to calm down, but I still had a tremor, and I started thinking about the sexual abuse. That as soon as I went there, my legs just were slapping together, like just whoa. And then I started thinking about all the encounters, my sexual encounters with my ex-husband. So then I started thinking about, the sexual encounters I had over my life in my youth and my narcissistic relationships. And then it just started, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so I thought, you know what, if we were in, medieval times, you know what, they would have thought I was being exorcised by a demon. And then I just thought, well, this is getting rid of the negative energy, so this is kind of like an exorcism. So then I started praying to God, and I'm just like, God, cast all this negativity out of me, cast out the spirit of fear, cast out the spirits that I've accumulated in my body from being with these narcissists and in narcissistic relationships and narcissistic trauma, and just being in the vicinity and being yes and not saying no to them and not saying yes to myself. I cast out these spirits, these demons. I just cast them out. And then I was brought to where Jesus said to the demon who was inhabiting a man, and he said, be quiet, come up out of him. And the demon cast him on the ground, like threw him on the floor with a shriek. And I was just thinking about that. And I'm like, okay, so that's what this is, like there's memory stored in my nervous system. Nervous system carries energy. I've got negative energy. Negative energy is of demons. So it's a demon attachment. This is, a little bit of, this is the soul tie. And I was just like, no, I break this. I cast this out. And I just, as soon as I did that, and I was just like, in the name of Jesus, be gone. And it just kind of went, my legs just kind of, and went still and quiet. And I'm just like, wow. Because like when I've seen this on video, it looks like people are faking, but you can't fake that. It's a natural shake that realigns your nervous system, and bears do it. And I was thinking as I was going through this, I'm like, yeah, God, because like I felt like God telling me this is nothing more than what dogs do when they're sleeping and they twitch and they look like they're chasing something in their dream and they whine. Well, that's exactly what we're doing. Our nervous system is becoming regulated. So, hello, Scarlett. Nice to see you. Welcome. So, yeah. So, what you do is you collapse your knees to the floor after you do the bridge, and you hold the bridge pose. You hold the bridge pose for about 1 to 2 minutes, because in that pose, you'll feel your buttocks and the back of your hamstrings. You'll start feeling them shaking a little bit. And when you feel that tremor, that's when you drop down to the regular, resting state, and you drop your legs to the floor, and then you slowly bring them up. And wherever you feel the tremor, you just stop and you hold that position, and you'll feel it. So if you guys do it, let me know what you think, because and just, it's not about remembering, because your body is remembering, and this is allowing your body to feel safe. So you don't necessarily have to remember and recall the memories, but I did, just because I know there is a lot of trauma there, especially when I was dealing with the demons, like using the Ouija board, and they spiritually attacked me. And I was thinking about that too last night, and oh boy, Yeah, so I was just like calling everything out and making everything known that I can remember. And so if you guys do that, you know, that will help you, because that will help you to redirect your energy. Instead of feeding the bond by re-engaging, you can allow yourself to just go quiet and put your energy into the healing practices, such as, you know, the somatic healing practices. So, yeah, it's kind of, don't let it scare you. It's just your body, you know, releasing its pain, you know, releasing the pain, because your body keeps the score. Your body holds the pain in. And that's partly why we cannot allow ourselves to move forward, because your body is like, no, I'm still in pain here. I don't trust. We got to deal with this stuff. You know, you can't just run away from it. And you don't know what you don't know. So here we are trying to move forward, but then our body is still holding on to this pain and we don't know how to get rid of it. Oh, this is a wonderful way. And I did about 5 minutes this morning, 5-10 minutes this morning, and that's all it took for, you know, the tremors to leave. You know, there's just some residual. I mean, maybe there's some residual after we sleep. Like maybe you guys are traumatized with nightmares. You ever been chased in your dream? Well, yeah, maybe some of those dreams we're not aware of. We wake up and we don't remember dreaming. Maybe it is a good thing to just do this somatic release after we wake up, to get rid of those fearful, traumatic thoughts in our dreams. So you do whatever is best for you. This is just a suggestion, and I'm telling you it works. Some people cry, some, like I found myself laughing because I'm just like, I'm over crying. I don't need to cry anymore. I don't feel like crying. But I felt, you know, as soon as my legs started, you know, my knees started clapping together, I'm like, what? And I kind of gave a giggle because I'm like, this is different. This is weird. But I just went with it. And it's, you know, after I stood up and I felt like, you know, my my legs, it wasn't necessarily like they were came out of a workout, but I did feel this release. I felt this peaceful calmness in my legs. And then I started feeling, because I do have back pain, and I hurt myself a couple of years ago working for somebody lifting up paving stones. And so I hurt my back and my, you know, near my hip. And so I started feeling like the tension coming out of that area too. So it may help. So, layered thinking is about training your mind to zoom out and see the full picture. It prevents you from being trapped in the narcissist now, which they use to manipulate and control you, and helps you to build clarity and self trust. And over time, this clarity dissolves the trauma bond because you stop being emotionally available to the manipulative cycle and you stay emotionally available to yourself. Keep busy, dance, get drunk. No, I'm not going to get drunk. Be free. Don't worry about what everyone else says. Silence their crux and grow in love and light. Amen to that. So, how do narcissists use layered thinking against us? That's the nugget of information we want to get to today. Well, number one, the surface level. They use the charm, idealization. They flood you with attention, love bombing, promises that they never keep. And you believe this person because you believe that they really see you. And then they go to the emotional layering where they hook you with your needs. They learn what you crave most. They learn what you find security in. They find what you love. They find what makes you feel validated. And they find what you're empathetic towards and mirror it back to you, but they also use these things against you. And when they use these things and mirror them back to you, that's when you feel that, oh, they understand me like no one else does. And then there's the fear layer, the instilling insecurity. They start subtle criticisms, gaslighting, and withdraw themselves from you. And then you worry and you say, well, maybe I did something wrong. But instead of asking, is there something wrong? Did I do something wrong to upset you? Instead of asking that, you just jump to assumptions and say, I need to fix this. I can surprise them by fixing me. I don't need to go and ask if there's a problem. Why do we not ask? Because we fear that maybe we are the problem. And then there's the control layer where they're hot and cold. They alternate kindness with cruelty, keeping you confused and off balance. And you think, if I can just get back to the good times, everything will be okay. We're guilty of gaslighting ourselves too, not just them. That's gaslighting ourselves. And then there's this future layer, dangling the carrot, future faking. They talk about marriage, family, shared dreams, but only when you start to pull away. And you believe, oh, this means there's hope in this marriage. There's hope in this relationship. Oh my goodness, I think I'll hang on and it'll eventually pay off. And the sixth layer is the identity layer, rewriting who you are. Over time, they convince you that your worth, your safety, your happiness are tied to them. And you think, oh, without them, I'm nothing. Hi, Terry. Nice to see you. Positive energy brings it out. I'll see it as a threat. Boring babes. What? What? Oh, positive energy. Bring it, or I'll see it as a threat. Boring babes. Geez. Okay, I get it. So, Terry, in a relationship seems to make me sick and I'm stuck and isolated. However, I'm not taking action steps to change. What you're saying resonates. Awesome. Welcome, Terry. It's nice to see you. Welcome to this channel. My name is Shannon, and I'm here if you guys ever need to talk. My email is shannongilmore@protonmail.com, or you can take a look at the links in the description of this video and sign up for your one-on-one consultation with me. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to force you to change. I'm not here to force you to do what you don't want to do. I'm here to just clarify, act as a mediator, and listen and offer a perspective. And I want you to walk away from our consultation better, feeling better than when you came into it. I want to leave you with clarity and less doubt, hopefully no doubt, as you're secure in knowing what you need to do and you feel confident in yourself to do it. And, I'm here to support you. No judgment. So the key difference between our layered thinking and the narcissist thinking is that we layer our thinking to gain clarity. We peel away the illusions, excuse me, and we reconnect with reality. But with the narcissist, no, excuse me, their layered thinking is to build illusions, layer lies over truths, and keep us trapped in their reality. It's almost like they built a mental maze with emotional walls. Every time you try to leave, they activate another layer: guilt, hope, fear, nostalgia. So you circle back instead of walking away, walking out. So why does this matter to break the trauma bond? Well, once you see the narcissist layers and are actually seeing the layers for what they are, they're just manipulative traps, you can start flipping the script. You can, instead of running through their maze, you can apply your own layered thinking and saying, no, I'm not going to participate. No, thank you. I don't want those breadcrumbs. No, thank you. I'm not the mouse in this maze looking for cheese and you're not the cat. Sorry. No, not playing. Not playing Tom and Jerry tomfoolery here. Life is not a cartoon. Life is not a game. You can say, oh, this sudden kindness, well, this isn't real love. It's a part of the cycle. The guilt, I feel, well, this isn't mine. It's what they've programmed me to carry. The future of a promise of a better life. Well, this isn't reality. It's just bait. I'm not playing. I'm done. And this recognition collapses their layers of control and helps you to break free. So the narcissists use layered thinking, but it's counterfeit. Their layers are designed to keep you small and dependent, while your layered thinking helps you expand, heal, reclaim your identity, and grow in your identity. See, narcissists don't like us thinking. That's why they keep us isolated and want to keep us small, because when you're focused on your feelings, you're not thinking. But when you're thinking, you gain clarity over your emotions. So layered thinking isn't just about protecting your mind. It can also help you to decode what the narcissist is actually doing and thinking beneath the surface. Since narcissists rarely say what they mean, you have to learn to read the layers of their behavior. So how to use layered thinking to read a narcissist? Well, the surface layer, the words versus actions. What they say, I love you, I'll never hurt you. That's the superficial, that's the surface layer. So what then you want to ask is, well, their words are often empty. So what is the action underneath their words of I love you and I'll never hurt you? Because their action is what reveals the real motive, control, and keeping you hooked. So when you ask, what are these words trying to really tell me underneath? Like, what are the actions? You're going to translate their surface layer thinking, and you're going to translate it to say, oh, guess what? I guess they're not reassuring me. They're not reassuring me out of anything out of love and truth and honesty. Oh no, they're just trying to hook me to gain supply to keep me here so that they can keep siphoning my energy and keeping me low. See, true love doesn't want you low. True love wants you healed and wants you to expand your horizons and be all you can be in this world. That's what true love is. And true love doesn't hold you back. And then there's the emotional layer to this. What are they triggering in me? See, narcissists project. So if they're making you feel guilty, stupid, or unlovable, those are actually their insecurities, and that's what layered thinking tells you. So then you can naturally detach because you're like, those belong to them, they don't belong to me. So the translation of this is when they say, oh, you're so selfish, your layered thinking or your interpretation of their layered thinking reveals, well, they feel selfish but can't admit it. So they put it on me because somebody probably called them selfish. See, it's not just you that they're fighting. You may think that you're the only supply, but they have multitudes of supply out there in this big wide world. You're not the only one that they talk to. Maybe they're the only one, you're the only one they come home to at night, but no, you're not the only one. You're not the center of their attention. Like, you are the center of their attention. They lead you to believe, you revolve your life around them. Well, it's not reciprocal. No. They do not revolve their lives around you, because that's control. You would control them if they had to revolve their lives around you. No, you're just a source of supply, one of many. And so this one of many sources, they go to somebody else and have conflict with them. Guess what? You're the sounding board. You're the one that they come home to vent as well. And they project their reality onto you, and you think it's you. No, somebody else called them selfish. If you know you didn't call them selfish, somebody else called them selfish. Somebody else had a beef with them, and they're taking that beef out on you. and making it your problem. Hello, Chairnet. How you doing? Nice to see you. Resistor says their game doesn't work if you're not playing. Exactly. So then there's this pattern cycle. Instead of focusing on the current outburst or that a fake apology, take a step back and ask, when has this happened before? Oh, 2 weeks ago, last week. You'll see the pattern, because the pattern keeps repeating. Because their thinking is, this works to keep their control, so I'll keep doing it, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So then you go into the control layer, number 4, timing their motives. Notice when they suddenly become nice. Usually after you pull away, or usually after they've had an encounter with someone else. When they're cruel to you, they're cruel when you shine too bright. You know, notice the pattern. Oh, gee, I noticed that they're cool with me whenever I have a birthday or anniversary comes up, or a celebration of some kind comes up. They get really moody and nasty. And you translate that their thought process is tactical. They're thinking, if I punish you now, I'll shrink them back down to size and they'll cater to me. And if it's the other way around, where they're schmoozing you and love bombing you and being nice and sweet and kind, then you can just look at that and see the pattern and say, okay, they're trying to butter me up and reward me now so that I'll feel obligated to surrender to them later, to whatever happens next. The future layer, the promises and the threats. So if they promise a future with you, oh, we're going to get married just someday, you just wait. When we get enough money, when we get that house, we're going to get married. Things will get better, just wait. Ask, what do they gain by me believing this right now? And how you translate that over to helping yourself, you see that their thoughts is, I can't lose control, so I'll dangle hope until they comply. Oh, the identity layer of thinking. This is the attacks on your core self. When they attack your worth, your talents, your beliefs, it's not random. It's chosen. They attack you on purpose. It's tactical. And so you translating their layer of thinking, you can say, well, their thinking is, if I can make them doubt who they are, I can define them how I want, and I can control them, and I can keep them forever under my thumb. I can keep them small. So the secret of reading them with layered thinking, every word or action from a narcissist is less about you and more about them and what they need in that moment. They need the supply, they need the control, they need the reassurance, or they need the distraction. Layered thinking lets you step back and decode. What emotions are they trying to provoke in me? What do I gain if I believe this? What insecurity of theirs is being projected here? And when you start thinking this way, their behavior becomes predictable. Predictable instead of confusing. And once it's predictable, you stop internalizing it and you start detaching from it. So, layered thinking doesn't give you access to their private mind. No, it's not about reading their mind, but it helps you read the strategy behind their behavior. You begin to see the layers of manipulation as a system, which strips away the mystery and the power of the trauma bond. Ooh. You start seeing yourself as who you truly are. You see the narcissist as who they truly are. And you start detaching your feelings and stop investing your feelings in them and start investing your feelings in yourself. Yes, they are predictable if you know them and learn all you can about them. Exactly. Every narcissist uses the same tools from the same toolkit. But just because you're aware of that, excuse me, excuse me, when you get involved with yet another narcissist, somehow you get blindsided because God says corrupt character corrupts moral character. You let down your guard and you think, oh, this person is different. You know, because for me, I wasn't always love bombed. Whoa, that had a tail. That was not a fruit fly. That was, hello, that had a tail. You guys saw that, right? Slow. Wow. Yeah, interesting. Interesting indeed. So the narcissist, they are so predictable. It's our need to love and be loved from an outside source that keeps us blind to that predictability. So when you look towards yourself, look inwardly, look inside yourself and see Jesus, see the light, and allow your light to shine, then it absolves you who you are according to this light, as you are already love. You're absolved of all responsibility to love and be loved by somebody who cannot love you. This is actually showing us the jealousy of God. God is a jealous God, and he'll allow the narcissist to live with us or be with us for so long, and then after the discard comes, and yeah, it's gotta hurt. But if we reframe this and think, well, God did this. God allowed the narcissist to leave because God loves us that much. And if we continue to be with the narcissist, how much would we be taken down? Because you see, after the discard, that's where you see all the hurt and pain, and you see the destruction, you see the trauma bond. You have to unbrainwash yourself to the narcissist, right? So you get to see, wow, this trauma was deep, this pain was deep, this hook was deep. And if this was allowed to last your life long, you would forever be hooked to that idol who doesn't serve God. God loves you with an everlasting love. He's like, okay, this, you've learned your lesson. This is far enough. Far enough, I'm going to take over now and I'm going to heal. And when God heals us, we don't ever want to leave him. When we allow God to heal us, this forms a bond between God and us, a loyalty that we will never leave. We're never going to attach ourselves to the narcissist again, because we've discovered the love that surpasses all our understanding. We'll never fathom the love that God has for us. But when we allow ourselves to feel it, oh, it feels so good. We don't want to leave it. We don't want to leave. And we never will. And loving the narcissist is the assurance that we will never leave God again, ever, 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 ever. So the narcissist can put that in their pipe and smoke it. So I want to say thank you for joining me today, as this video has been a video on layered thinking, and layered thinking is very important as it helps us to detach ourselves from the narcissist. And we talked about layered thinking last week, but we didn't call it that. It was just about asking why. Why questions, like how a toddler asks why questions in their terrible twos. Why can't I pull the cat's tail? You say, Tommy, don't pull the cat's tail. And Tommy's like, why? Tommy, don't jump through the puddle. Why? Tommy, don't push your sister on the swing like that. Why? Tommy, don't put the sucker in your sister's hair. Why? It's asking yourself questions is not harmful. It's a way you get to know yourself. And you can ask the narcissist why too. They won't like it, but you can ask them why and see how far you get. Because if you don't get very far, that in itself is a layered question to help you understand where they're at and what their motive is for you. Analyze is everything, exactly. I like to say that this is a way of profiling the narcissist. With your questions, you get to profile them and figure out who they are as what their motive is for you or against you. So you're profiling the enemy and detaching yourself from them so you can live in your divinity. And that's what it's about. That's what we do here on this channel, Positively Spiritual. So all of you, welcome. If you're new to this channel, welcome. And if you're a regular, it's nice to see you. As always, it's welcome to see you too. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have questions or comments or suggestions, please use my email, shannongilmore@protonmail.com. If you want to talk one-on-one, feel that you need some mentorship or guidance, I'm not a therapist, so I'm not going to tell you how does that make you feel. I'm not here to condescend you. I'm not here to abandon you and make you feel small. I'm here not to judge you, but here to help you. And so I will be asking you questions, but I invite you to answer those questions. You don't have to answer any questions you don't want to, but on your own time. The questions that I offer you might be valid, and you might want to write them down and consider them later, and they might give you something to think about. That's all. So I hope this video has helped you, and we'll see you back here at 10 o'clock tonight if you're willing. We're here twice a day, 1 o'clock in the afternoon and 10 o'clock in the evening Eastern time. So with that said, I'm going to go make some lunch, and you guys enjoy your afternoon. Loves to you all, and we'll see you back here tonight at 10. Happy Saturday. Blessings. Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone.